Hello everyone, welcome to GGN. This is part 3 for this news report. Today it's Friday, March 29th, 2013. I'm Darko. Please check out my websites, ggnonline.com, and on YouTube, ddarko2012, ddarko2013. I'll have all the links in YouTube's video description, so check them out. Alright, I'm going to cover some Patriot stuff here, and just a quick disclaimer. As far as the whole revolution, I don't really agree with the whole revolution because it's going to be completely co-opted and not coming from the grassroots like I think it was in the 1776 revolution where they instituted the Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution has some nice things about it and everything, Bill of Rights and all that, which is completely trampled on now. I guess it would be better than what they're proposing, but I just don't want to put it out there that I'm for like feeding into this whole we're going to revolt and you take on these drones and these robots and all these DARPA, just black op programs. I mean, it's going to be scary. It's going to be really, really ugly, and a lot of patriots are going to get like just mutilated. So, I mean, I think the best thing to do would be to basically just try to survive on your own. Take care of yourself, which is your property, your family. First, before you go enforcing a centralized government on millions of other people. Just don't fall for the trap again. Mexican vigilantes seize town on highway from Mexico City. Hundreds of armed vigilantes, that's people who vigilantes have taken control of a town on a major highway in the Pacific Coast state of Guerrero, arresting local police officers and searching homes for a vigilante leader who was killed. Several opened fire on a car of Mexican tourists headed for the beach. So it's probably, God forbid if they do that, but if cops do it, like when they were looking for that Dorner guy, they were just shooting at civilians' cars left and right without any kind of, liability or anything. So, but these are vigilantes and they don't believe in law. Well, actually they do. They probably do believe in common law. But maybe they're not supporting political law anymore because the political law enforcement officers are what? They're in bed and they work for drug cartels like the government. So I guess you can say that their authority over these vigilantes is no longer legitimate. That's why there's a lot of propaganda you'll see as far as you can't just have vigilantes going around, and they always just show them like a mob or something like that. We need to have law and order. So members of the area's self-described community police say more than 1,500 members of the force were stopping traffic Wednesday at improvised checkpoints. See, only the government could have checkpoints, so just remember that, guys. Homeland Security demands obedience in message to agents. The Obama regime and its controversial Department of Homeland Security under fire for sending what is being described as a chilling message to U.S. Border Patrol agents demanding obedience. Says here they revealed an exclusive video report you could see below calling on Congress to investigate. The word obedience was defined on the official TV screens as quickly and cheerfully carrying out the direction of those who are responsible for me. Reliable sources in the agency confirmed to Ramirez, who also serves as the president of the Law Enforcement Officers Advocate Council, that the controversial message demanding obedience was displayed for agents on TV monitors in the San Diego and Tucson sectors last week. The obedience order just continues a long recent history of intimidation going back to 2004 gag order by then Chief David Aguilar. Ramirez told the New American in an interview referring to a controversial non-disclosure agreement purporting to bar agents from releasing important information to lawmakers and the media. The point of all this is to purge the patrol of experienced agents who refuse to go along to get along. Ramirez speculated half seriously that there could be an even more chilling fate awaiting those who refuse to carry out unlawful or unconstitutional orders. Are they now classified as domestic terrorists, in which case a yet-to-be-identified official of Department of Justice can have them taken away with a drone strike? And it says, we just heard in recent congressional hearings that's pretty much what can happen now. A drone strike on an individual who's considered a U.S. terrorist or a terrorist on U.S. soil. UK border agency not good enough and being scrapped. So the U.S. border agency, or UK, is to be abolished with its work returning to the Home Office. So its performance was not good enough. No, it was good enough. See, that's how you have to see this programming. They did a good job. They actually performed well by allowing all foreigners to come into the UK and help destroy their country besides the politicians that helped this happen. institute these policies. So they did a good job. Good job, UK Border Agency. Kind of like the U.S. Border Patrol. Good job. Marine 24 ordered to take down his American flag flying outside Florida home after neighbors complained. Town considered flagpole a building structure requiring a permit to remain in place. So this is the games that they play. These are, the people that are supposedly went over to fight fascism and communism. Says here, Schaefer says applying for a permit will cost him around $1,000. A U.S. Marine returning from a tour of duty in Iraq has been ordered to remove the American flag he's hoisted outside his Florida home. So, an anonymous complaint from a neighbor of the banner's pole has led to the citation from his town, accusing it of being a code violation, saying, it's sad that we have to go through that just to fly a flag, he said. I don't know, I think I see a Gadsden flag or whatever, don't tread on me flag. That could be another reason too, so. But Fox drama, this is from InfoWars. Constitutionalists work for terrorist serial murders. So, Fox, the entertainment network founded by Murdoch, is working with the federal government's Southern Poverty Law Center in a concerted effort to demonize Americans identifying themselves as constitutionalists. During an episode of The Following, a television drama starring Kevin Bacon, The Following, constitutionalists are being portrayed as extremists in league with a group of serial murderers. The series follows an ex-FBI agent, I'm assuming is Kevin Bacon, who has joined a social network of copycat killers attracted to the charismatic leader. So, says here, just last year, the Department of Justice Guide for Investigators listed constitutionalists and survivalists alongside Al-Qaeda and the Aryan Brotherhood. And they include in here the CEO of SPLC, Richard Cohen, says that in the last 4 years we've seen a tremendous increase in the number of conspiracy-minded anti-government groups as well as in the number of domestic terrorist plots, which are usually by the FBI. Ooh, but I better be careful, right? That's conspiracy-minded. A Connecticut baker is under fire for designing a pro-Second Amendment birthday cake. It actually looks like a real thing. It's kind of weird, but it's a cake. So the owner of Jenny Lou's Bakery in Connecticut is receiving some backlash for baking a pro-Second Amendment cake for local Friends of NRA birthday dinner. So she was turned down, or yeah, it says here that she was turned down by a number of local bakers who didn't approve her idea. That's crazy, dude. America, I imagine at least the old America would be that you just do it, even if you disagree with it, I mean, that's that's how one-sided it is, though, because, like, I'm going to get to it in the next videos, is that, you got Chick-fil-A now, they defended themselves at first when they were talking about, marriage just between a man and a woman, and they defended it, and that's cool. I think a lot of people had respect for that. But then they just, boom, I mean, of course, after the spokesman had a heart attack and died because of all the stress that was put on him by the media and these people that push homosexuality and are basically heterosexual phobes, what happened? They just got down on their knees, like I was saying in the last video, and they started sucking it. So, and they were doing that to what? So that they don't scare away customers. But actually, there's a lot of people that they increased business after that because they were just opening a chain. When the I think it was the CEO made that statement, but they completely backpedaled about it, and then they kowtowed to it because it's not politically correct. Fusion Center director, we don't spy on Americans, just anti-government Americans. Says here, law enforcement intelligence processing fusion centers that don't exist unless you read actual DHS and federal documents and stuff. PDF files have long come under attack for spying on Americans. The Arkansas director wanted to clarify the truth. Fusion centers only spies on some Americans, those who appear to be a threat to the government. They're trying to clear up misconceptions about the conduct of fusion centers. It says here that they want to simply confirm Americans' fears that the center does not, in fact, spy on Americans, but only on those who are expected to be anti-government. It says Davis said his office places its focus on international plots, domestic terrorism, and certain groups that are anti-government want to kind of take a look at that and receive that information. So that's a little double speak for you. They're not spying on Americans, but they're spying on Americans who are anti-government. So B-52 bomber flying in your vicinity. Don't worry, it may just be targeting your house. Whereas, as the U.S. is flying B-2 bombers over Korea trying to provoke a nuclear war, all-out nuclear war, the following video shows a B-52 Stratofortress during a standard training mission of War Week, an exercise which incorporates aerial refueling, weapons tactics, and high-altitude maneuvering. So it says here, as some viewers have noticed a bit concern on YouTube, the B-52 bomber used what appeared to be the garden of a civilian house as the target in the simulated bombing run to improve their skills. Don't worry, until they don't drop an actual bomb on them, civilians should not be worried to be in the B-52's radar navigator's crosshairs. Unless you're, was it Anwar al-Awlaki's son or him, the first Americans to be killed by a drone strike, or Germans, all those German civilians that were systematically blown up and killed by the British and the U.S. 24/7. Says here, I'm sure that they don't believe that. Drone Command Center coming to Horsham. So drones that have been used by the U.S. military to kill the bad guys, to kill enemies of U.S. corporations and collect intelligence will be piloted remotely from U.S. Air Force Base in Pennsylvania. So great, right? Obama change poster artist infuriates gun advocates with his new work. So graphic designer and street artist Shepard Fairey has released a new print associating gun owners with Satan, claiming to be inspired by recent massacres. He created the image to pressure politicians into tightening gun control. He's known for his iconic Hope poster he created during the Obama 2008 presidential election, has enraged gun advocates with his latest design. It says here, it depicts an AR-15 rifle in the words, "America, the land where God saves, and Satan invests in assault weapons and high-capacity magazines." Again, he says what Obama wants: common sense gun law advocacy group. That's basically hands that are not in the guns in the hands of people that are basically not communists or Bolsheviks or whatever, big federal government people. Obama says, shame on us for not exploiting in the Newtown Sandy Hook massacre. All those children died or did nothing. So, basically, the NRA represents gun manufacturers. So, they're going to still keep guns and ammunition out there. That's why I don't like all that fear-mongering until maybe when there is a war on. But unless you can start manufacturing your own bullets and your own weapons, maybe like the 3D printer, you don't really have a chance, I think. Obama uses executive power to move gun control agenda forward. It says here the president has used his executive powers to bolster the national background check system, jumpstart government research on the causes of gun violence, and create $1 million ad campaign or propaganda aimed at safe gun ownership. They want more information and access to information and data about guns and their owners, and help keep guns out of the hands of the criminals and mentally ill. So that's basically people that are not on for the program, like I said. It's scary because now they're going to actually do this. Imaging shows promise as mental health screening tool. For years, scientists believe that weak connections between different parts of the brain make it more vulnerable to mental illness. So after conducting neuroimaging scans of hundreds of college students, researchers say here they revealed MRI scanning more accurately detects true psychiatric illnesses than students self-reporting. The neuroimaging can help distinguish young people who are actually ill versus those who are not. So this would be great, like little mentally ill detectors, and just bioimaging scans and MRIs, and you're mentally ill. MSNBC contributor says level of anti-Semitism against Bloomberg over gun control. This is from rawstory.com. So the contributor said that this Mike Barnacle said that he had seen a level of anti-Semitism against Michael Bloomberg after the Jewish mayor began to push for gun control in response to the Connecticut shooting. It says here that he's using his personal fortune to crush the Second Amendment. He says, let's get down to it. Mayor Bloomberg, there's a level of anti-Semitism in this thing directed towards him. There's no doubt about it. Al Sharpton agreed. It could be this, that he says that the government has a right to infringe on your freedom, saying Americans should just cede their rights because government knows best. I do think there are certain times when we should infringe on your freedom, said. People talk about common sense approach. This is our common sense approach. A student is suspended for bringing a butter knife to school. I believe she had braces. Can't take a bite of the whole fruit, but I guess not as bad as the Pop-Tart gun, right? Growing number of EU youth hungry for change and decentralization from Brussels. They say it's very exciting to see this growth all over Europe, and the demand is huge for these ideas dedicated to liberty. says, I think it's an expression that young people in Europe feel stripped of their rights as 50% unemployment among the youth in Spain. How can you feel empowered when you can't get a job? This is GGN. Thank you.